I'm Josh Ryan, licensed professional counselor, and this is your daily rep, a short practice to build emotional control under pressure. Most people don't struggle with apologizing. They struggle with how they apologize. Because what sounds like an apology often isn't one. It's an explanation. It's a justification. At times, it's just a defense, disguised as accountability. You've heard it before. Sayings like, "I'm sorry, but that's not what I meant. I'm sorry you feel that way. I didn't mean it like that. I was just trying to fill in the blank." In the moment that explanation shows up, the apology loses power. Because now the focus shifts from ownership back to you. That's the problem. Real repair requires you to step out of the defense and into responsibility without trying to soften it, without trying to protect your image, without trying to control how it's ultimately received. And that's hard because explaining feels natural. Explaining feels fair. It feels like you're correcting something. But in the moment of repair, explanation often comes across as dismissal, not clarity. Because the other person hears, "You don't fully understand me. You're seeing this wrong. Let me fix your perception." That's not repair. That's reactivity, just delayed. That's why clean ownership matters. Ownership sounds like this. I shouldn't have said that like that. My tone was off. I got defensive. That's on me. Short, clear, and direct. No but, no explanation, no redirect. Just ownership. And here's what most people miss. The strength of an apology is not how detailed it is. It's how clean it is. Clean matters more than shifting responsibility. Clean means there's no escape route to the sentence, no way to pull the focus back to yourself. Just simple accountability. That's what builds trust. Because people can often feel the difference immediately. They know when you're owning it, and they know when you're trying to just manage it. Managing it sounds like, "I'm trying to make this go away." Owning it sounds like, "I see it, and I'm taking responsibility for it." That difference is everything. Now let's go a little deeper. Why do people explain during apologies? Because explaining protects their identity. If you explain, you can still be right. You can still feel justified. You can still preserve your self-image. But repair requires something different. It requires you to temporarily let go of being right in order to become effective. That's maturity. That's discipline. Because again, you can be right and still damage the relationship. And if the relationship actually matters, effectiveness matters more than being right in the moment. That's the shift. Now, this doesn't mean you never explain. It means you don't lead with it. There's an order to strong communication, and that order matters. First, it's about ownership, then understanding, and if still needed, clarification. Most people try to reverse that. They start with the clarification, they jump into an explanation, and they try to fix the narrative they've created. And they skip the part that actually calms the situation, and that's ownership. Without ownership, the rest of it doesn't land. With ownership, the rest becomes possible. So let's make this more practical. Imagine you snapped on someone. Your tone was sharp, the moment passed. Now you come back in an attempt to repair. The weak version might sound something like this. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I was just stressed. Now that sounds reasonable, but listen closely. You just explained your way out of snapping. You reduced the impact. You redirected the focus to what was actually stressing you. Stronger version, my tone earlier was off, and that's on me. That lands differently. Now the other person doesn't have to fight to be heard. They don't have to argue their experience. You've already acknowledged it. The conversation is now able to move forward. Or imagine this, a statement like, you weren't listening to me. The weak repair might sound like, I was listening, I just didn't agree with you. Again, an explanation, a defense, no ownership. Strong repair might sound like this. I can see how it felt like I wasn't listening. Now you've acknowledged impact. That creates space. Now, if needed, clarification can come later. But the relationship is stable first. That's the priority. Stabilize the relationship. This is why clean ownership builds trust so quickly. Because it's rare. Most people defend. Most people go directly to explanation. Most people attempt to protect themselves through their identity. Very few people take full responsibility without resistance. And when someone does, it stands out. It builds credibility. It creates a space of safety. Now let's talk about discomfort, because this will feel uncomfortable at first. You will feel the urge to explain, to defend, to provide additional context, to make sure they understand your side. That urge is normal, but discipline is choosing not to act on it immediately. You let the ownership stand on its own. You let it breathe. You let it land. That's control. And over time, that discomfort begins to decrease because your identity shifts. You stop needing to protect yourself in every moment. You become more focused on outcomes than on being right. And that's growth. But here's another important point. Clean ownership doesn't make you weak. It makes you stable because you're not fragile. You can acknowledge mistakes without collapsing. You can take responsibility without completely losing yourself. That's strength, and people feel that, especially in leadership. Leaders who explain everything away often lose credibility. Leaders who make mistakes and own them gain respect, because accountability builds faster than perfection ever can. And in relationships, this is everything, because small moments of ownership, repeated consistently, create emotional safety. People feel like they can bring things up. They feel like they can be heard. They feel like what they have to say matters. That's how connection grows. Not through perfection, through some false identity of never being unright, but through repair, Now, today's rep. The next time you need to apologize, remove the explanation. Just try it once. One clean sentence of ownership. No but, no justification, no additional context, just that's on me. Then stop, let it land, and notice the difference. Because clean ownership doesn't just repair the moment, it builds trust. This is still part of Pillar 7, repairing after reactivity. And one of the strongest skills you can build is owning it without explaining it away. If you're serious about building emotional discipline and stronger relationships, stay with us in the process. If you want to check out the book or the workbook, Pause and Respond, you can go to pauseandrespond.com. We're in the 30-day discipline run, 22 reps completed, 8 more to go. Follow the show so you don't miss the next rep, because tomorrow we go even deeper. We'll talk about the difference between the guilt that keeps you stuck and the responsibility that moves you forward. Less reaction, more choices.